Hey everybody, welcome back to Perkins Garage. As you can see, things have changed. Hank is in the shop up on the casters for the winter. Unexpected. I was hoping to be able to drive it in October. Still have some nice weather for driving and stuff and cruising, but we'll get to that in a minute. And then Fred is now in the shop. As you can see on one of the previous videos, my carport seam was gone in the middle. Got that all replaced under warranty, but when it rips again, they're not going to warranty that one, so still not happy with them and their product. But anyway, got him out because we can start working on this one. Hank had an issue with the steering, and the lower ball joint decided to come apart while I was pulling out of a gas station. Thank God it didn't happen while I was going down the highway 70 miles an hour. Like 5 minutes before that happened. So, thank God for that one. Got the car towed home. There's no way I was going to be able to fix it on the side of the road. Bent the tie rods, the tie rod on the passenger side, and screwed up the ball joint and everything. So with that, I thought that I missed a castle nut cotter pin, but it was actually in there. It looked like the castle nut just spun right past it, and then boo. So I think this car originally was likely a drum brake car, and they converted it to disc brake, and they maybe got the wrong spindle for it. I don't know, something wrong with the ball joint. I think what happened was that inside where that spindle is, where that ball joint bolt is, I think it was just sitting there going like this inside, and it was spinning that castle nut out, and that's how it twisted past the cotter pin. But anyway, Hank is down for the winter. Well, we just started fall, which sucks because I wanted to drive it, but and it was running good. So I'm gonna order parts for this and then get that ready to go for next spring. And then yeah, sucks. Car's running great. And then Fred. So we got this out, and I'm gonna start working on this tonight. I got the stuff to make the flatbed. I'm gonna get that cut apart and maybe get it. I don't know if I'll weld it tonight or do that tomorrow night, but I at least want to get it cut apart and kind of mocked up how I want it. So, and I'm gonna throw in a little video right now showing you I'm side of the road with a little hanky panky. So. Enjoy that. Well, looking like it's stuck on the side of the road. Always check your nuts. Didn't I say that before? Castle nut. So I found this a while back on my steering arm and went and checked them, but apparently I missed one. Lower ball joint popped out. Now the control arm's on the ground. It's got a pretty good stance that way though. Ain't bad. Alright, so safety first, always check your nuts. Alright, let's start with the tire. Alright, from the video you could tell that the control arm was down on the ground, and it obviously made a groove all the way around my tire because I was rolling for a little bit, not very far, maybe 15 yards, and it nicked up the rim a little bit, but the rim is okay, so that's good. All I'm out is a tire on that one. If you can't see, that groove right there should not be there. That's from the control arm slicing the tire. Dog. Alright, so we got the ball joint put back in place. I'll see if I can get a light good enough in here. There we go. Definitely not good enough. Yep, something like that. Whatever. Alright, so how do I want to do this? Oh. That castle nut right there came off. And somehow, so that biker, when he jumped off his bike, he came up, he's like, I bet we could find the nut. And he stopped traffic on a pretty busy highway and ran out in the middle of the road and grabbed the castle nut. And he's like, here you go. And he hopped back on his bike. I'm not shitting you, by the way. And he hopped back on his bike and he took off. I thought I was missing the cotter pin, but I wasn't. The cotter pin was in there. It sheared off. I have no idea what the hell happened. So that was, as you can see from the previous video, off, and this control arm was laying on the ground. As you can see, that tie rod end there is bent. I'm pretty sure my sway bar is even more bent. Well, you can tell that's bent there. But that sway bar end there needs to be replaced. And yeah, so basically the lower control arm, ball joint, upper control arm I'm gonna replace. Probably gonna replace them on both sides because I have no idea what the people did previously. But it kind of scares me now that. Ugh. Like I said, it kind of scares me now that it's going to happen on the other side, or it's going to happen again if I just replace the ball joint and the steering components and throw it all back together. So, like I said, always check your nuts, but there's no reason why. Well, there was a reason, but I mean that nut would have had to have either just went boop. And hold on, I'll even prove it to you. I had to pound out the cotter pin, so I know that was in there. See that? That is one half of that cotter pin. And to be honest with you, it looked like sorry about the language, it looks like it twisted it as it came off. Alright, so any of you smart guys out there, please tell me how a castle nut can work its way past that pin and just keep going and then snap it off and then faulty component? I don't know. I'm pretty worried right now. I gotta get new parts for the steering and suspension and everything, but I could throw a bunch of money at the front and rear. If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do the rear too. But I mean, the car is basically gonna be down now until next spring, until I can actually get everything fixed. So at least I got the nut back on there. I can put the tire back on and move it. And I'm probably gonna move everything over here, over that way, get it on the wheels and slide it up. And I think it's time to bring Fred back. Yeah, and that's what we're gonna do. So, any suspension guys out there, please let me know what the hell is going on. I don't understand how the hell that thing just shot off. I thought maybe I missed the cotter pin when I was checking the suspension, and the nut just came off or worked its way off, but that obviously didn't happen because it was in there. So I'm gonna keep you posted, and like I said, I mean, it's September right now. I was hoping to be able to drive this for at least another month, but I can't do that now. I gotta get parts for it. Oh, it sucks so bad. I love driving that car. Anyway, all right, so remember when I cut the legs off, you go back a couple videos ago, I had this platform and I cut the legs off of it. Well, we got the bed off Fred. That's going to the scrapyard because it's shot. And this is the platform, so this is what I'm thinking, but I got to widen it out. So we'll go the width of the cab. I think that'll look fine. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut it. I don't know if I should cut the angle and then recut a new angle. I don't know. Maybe just leave that. Cut it here and then cut that side over there and then spread it out with the cab. And then I got these parts over here, those legs that I cut off that I can piece in. But I need to make sure that they're straight. So, yeah. That's my plan. There's going to be a lot of grinding and a lot of noise making. So, alright, I'm going to get started. Get the grinder out, and actually I think I might put air in the tires on Fred here so it makes it easier to roll, because then I'm just going to use this as my jig and roll it out of the shop while I'm cutting so I'm not making a mess in here, and do it that way. So, alright guys, this is what I got going on. So I pieced the legs together, right there, 2 legs together, and I cut that end off, left that end long on that side. Remember, this is 4 foot by 9 feet, and I did the opposite on this side. Welded both sides, and I got it so it's on one end is 79 and 5/8, the other end is 79 and a half. So for what it's worth, or what it's working on or doing, that's pretty freaking good. I squared it. It's about 3/8 of an inch off square. Yeah, it's like 134 and 3/8 one way, 134 even the other way. But I can't like true that off the corners because the corners are welded, and I'm not sure if those are true, but it's close enough for what we're doing. So I'm going to just lay it down on the truck for now. Obviously I'll have to grind the welds. I don't really have to. I could just paint them, but to make it look nice, I'll grind them. But it'll be easier to do it on the truck. I'm just going to lay it across the frame for now. And then I got to get stringers to go across, so that's going to be 1 inch square stock. And then we'll go from there. So I'm going to lift this thing up and lean it against the wall over here. Or out there, I don't know. Drag it. And then I'll roll Fred back in. I'll roll Fred back in and put the bed on, and then I'll show you how it's kind of going to look laying on the frame. So, all right. Stay tuned.